And I think what we need to think about next is, once we've got a forester here and we've finished sort of developing this area, is where are we going to spread out to next? Now, what's going on around here? Is this in a... I don't think here is in anyone's... Yeah. So there's... If we were to expand over to here, we'd actually capture this area as well as this area. So we may have to look at expanding out this way. This is where our giant bridge is going to go. Once we get to the point where we're ready to take on that challenge, that's where we'll go for it. But yeah, by the time we get down here, we're in a different place in the game. I love these. Look at that little basket just there. I love the details in this game. Things like the antlers on the deer and the fact that the little babies running around. I mean, that might actually be a female deer, a doe, rather than a baby or a half-grown deer. But yeah, you see them sometimes. In early spring you'll see tiny little baby deer, little fawns. So cool. I don't think I've taken the... We did, at one point I sort of stopped and watched a blacksmith working. I don't think I was zoomed in quite this much though. Oh, someone's died, blacksmith, Stephanie. So how are we doing? 5 labourers, that's fine. Population of 68, that's good too. Tools are over 100. Firewood is nearly 1,000. Iron's still bumping right. Well, we're building another house, aren't we? So we'll use up our reserve of iron. I think the tailor is still running out of leather all the time. It looks like our gatherer here might be able to support an additional person if they were to double up. How much are they turning out? Oh no, they are doubled up already. And yeah, churning out a fair amount of food. Tempted to put another gatherer on and double up another one somewhere. So compared to our hunter, that's a good result actually. 320 compared to the other hunters that we've looked at. 320 is not bad. And of course it's bringing in the leather. So when food's not a problem, it's good to have the hunters anyway, just for the leather. Now people are walking around, I'm sure, in rags. Let's see. Oh, clothing fair, that's good. What about you? Clothing fair. Oh, that happiness is high. Health is reasonable. What about you? Clothing fair. Happiness high. Health a little low. How are we doing? Herbs are okay, they're up at 215. I will get that. There we go. Right, so we should look at... Now that we've got this road in place, let's think about putting another house up here. Somewhere on the edge where... or it's not going to interfere too much with the gatherer. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's not... It would be more efficient if they were... if it was turned round so its front door was that way, but it'll take less land up if we point it that way. Let's I think I'll have that one. Have they got a stockpile anywhere near? Ah, there is one just here. Yeah, that's not too far. Yeah, I did a bit of... I read up a little bit about typhus, because I've heard of typhoid, but I'd never heard of typhus. I had a suspicion that they weren't exactly the same thing, and so I now know that typhus is... It was very prevalent in the Middle Ages because it's a disease of the type of typhus that these people would have had is a disease that's caught from lice. So it was carried from person to person. It's a bacterial disease, and it travelled in the body of lice. So you get bitten by a typhus-ridden lice, a bit like malaria in that way. So you catch it from being bitten by an insect. And back in medieval times, lice were endemic. And it killed anywhere between 10 and 60% of the population when there was an outbreak. If it was untreated. Like in modern times, it's easily treated, so nobody needs to die from a typhus outbreak these days. I'm sure there's still some parts of the world where they don't get the treatment that they need. How are we doing for children? 8. Okay, so this, hopefully we should come back up to 10 as soon as this house is built. Tisciella. Oh yeah, Tisciella. I remember Tisciella being born. Let's see who moves into this house. 13-year-old and a 24-year-old. Let's say these... a 24-year-old woman shacking up with a 13-year-old boy. These, yeah, they were very different times then, weren't they? I mean, these days I'm looking at it, in game, I'm thinking, brilliant, they'll have plenty of children. But really, I mean, if you look at it, it's sort of, she's a bit old for him. Should be locked up for it these days. Baby. How are we doing for food? Food's at 7,000. Well, we can certainly afford to build another house. I think our food is growing quite rapidly. It's going up there. How's the quarry? Still got plenty. We're doing okay. So yeah, maybe time to move out this way a bit. Now something I was thinking about was when I can put a trader, because I can't yet, because there's one of the achievements requires that you don't put a trader until you've reached a certain population level, and it's either 200 or 300, I can't remember which. Anyway, it's a long way off, but I think when I do, I think my trader needs to go somewhere just up here. Let's have a look. So, trading post. You should, honestly, you should see the way I'm holding my mouse at the moment. I'm that afraid of clicking the button to accidentally place a trader. Just in case, placing the trader, because it doesn't say I have to have one built. What if I was to accidentally place the trader? Anyway, yeah. So we want the trader. So I'm holding my mouse by the sides of the mouse just to make sure I don't accidentally press the place button. So we're going to have the trader somewhere around here, I think. It'll be a handy position because they'll be able to walk either side of the ridge. Oh, what have we got? So Kyle is an adult and a child named Ruther. So as long as we avoid building in that area, we can maybe help that a little by put a stockpile there. Diona the miner is replaced by Dina. And I think what we should do is maybe put a bridge across here somewhere and a bridge over the other side so that we have a sort of U shape of bridges here. Because if we're going to... How many people are going to try and squeeze? To get all of the achievements, I think I have to get 900 people. Now, I have no idea whether it's possible to get all of the achievements, because that's the challenge. Is it started with a challenge on Steam. Somebody put up a challenge to do Mountain Men on Harsh, and it sort of went from there. It's like, well, I don't have any of the achievements, so. And I was looking for, and it was this particular map seed as well. Yeah, I know, it's a bit ambitious. Yeah, and I don't know if it's possible, because not only would we need to get 900 people, but to get all of the achievements on this one map, we need to be able to turn out something. There's one of the achievements you have to do something like 10,000 farmed foods, 10,000 fruit, 10,000 of something else, and 10,000 of something else, and it's just whether or not there's actually enough room on the map to do it. Another achievement, you have to have 2 completely fully staffed quarries running for 30 years. Oh, who's died? Hermione the Forester. How are we doing, by the way? I'm sat here chatting, I'm not watching what's going on. Iron's a little low, tools are okay. I need to keep my eye on the tools and iron thing, especially as the population grows. Just make sure we can keep them in tools. Population's okay, firewoods, yeah, everything's okay. Yeah. Some of the challenges, I just don't know if it'll be possible to do them on this map, but that's the aim. I'd decided. Oh, Nathaniel's now an adult. I decided that I wanted to stream and do a let's play of Banished, because I'd had a little play with it and I just loved it. I thought, yeah, I want a good seed, and I'd been playing a game to get a feel for it. I mean, my first game that I'd ever played, the first time I picked up the game, the first time I opened it, I did it on a stream, and it was really quite funny because I had people who'd played the game before giving me advice on what to do. And yeah, that was quite good fun. We should do less talking and more building, actually. Well, Freem's an adult. I love that name. It would help if we extend this road up here, put a bridge over there. Will that go straight up? Ah, yeah, I think I actually worked that out. I think I planned that. I don't think it was accidental. I don't think that was just lucky. I think I'd worked out I was going to need to run the road up here. Now I think we'll probably want a fishing dock on the end there, if we can, because that'll get quite a good bit of water in its... yeah, so we'll probably want that fishing dock there. Who's died? Ailey the tailor. Allard replaced Ailey. So we're still at 71. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, but I'm going to put it on pause. Just to reserve that space. Talons? A child named Talons? And let's get this bridge in. So that'll give us access to some additional resources as well. I think we probably need to... Who's... Oh, Stoneslow, that's fine. Is it? Is it fine? Stone's at 92. Oh, I think it's maybe just the first time it's fallen below 5%. I think that's because it's the first time it's got above 5% to fall below 5% for a long time. Child called... What should we go for? Cincer? Cincer or Sinker? I think probably Cincer. Let's see, and if we're gonna want... Oops, who's that? Cedric's died. Well, they're dying of old age, so they've obviously lived a, good, productive, useful life. See, so we'll put another bridge there. Right, let's have a look over the other side of this river here and see what we're going to do. This is where we got the big bridge to do the big bridge challenge, but yeah, we don't need to worry about that just yet. As we get closer to it, we'll build that one. So I think this looks like an area that'll give us another one of our little wilderness sort of foresting gathering sort of areas. So if we had another one down here, and if it overlaps a little bit there, that's no bad thing either. A child named Caden. So let's see, we want, first of all, let's see what we can do in terms of most efficient use. What's going on the other side of the river here? So we'd probably end up with one somewhere like there. So to use this space, we probably have one maybe there. We'll probably end up using that as a building area. So if we've got one there, then we could have one kinda here. So that'll cover off most of that. In which case we might as well just put that one there. Or maybe forest behind, put a forester behind the graveyard. Yeah, it seems to be making the best of the location. I think we're going to end up having loads of overlaps to be able to feed all the people that we need to feed before we get crops. Yeah, I think one of the challenges means that we can't have farms or orchards, or I think it's herders, until we've reached, and I think it's 300 population. I think that's going to be one of the really hard ones to achieve, because to support 300 population on just hunters and gatherers and fishermen, it's going to be a tough one. There we go. Right, so now that we've had a graveyard built there, what I'm going to do is remove this graveyard here. Uh-oh, what have I done? Hang on. No, stop. Who have I made homeless? Why are you homeless? Which house have I just told him to remove? Oh, that's a blacksmith. I thought maybe I'd just clipped that house. Why is he homeless? He's not a child, is he? No. That's strange. Okay. I thought maybe I'd just clipped a house when I told it to remove the graveyard. But he couldn't possibly have been living in the graveyard. Well, not to worry, we'll soon build a house for him. Who was it again? Tavo. Yeah. I wonder if he's been kicked out by his wife.